Majority of people cannot do the L-sit because hip flexors and hamstrings are so tight. In this video, I'm going to show you how to improve your flexibility of the hips and how to improve your core compression so you can do the L-sit, and I will show you the proper technique execution for locking down your L-sit with control. My name is Solly. This is Famba Fitness. Let's get started. Step number one is so simple. Stop sitting down so much throughout the day. If you're doing your work, that's cool, but every hour, get up, move, stretch the legs, go for a walk, do something. Do not sit down throughout the whole day and expect your hamstring flexibility to get a whole lot better. Once you cover that, then what you can start doing is this awesome exercise for the hips, which is the split squat. So here you are building strength, you're building stability, and you're improving your flexibility of the hamstrings and the hip flexors. So it is a awesome exercise that targets so many things at the same time. So this one you have to do. The technique is very simple. Spread the legs as wide as you can and then sink deep into the move. And now this is gonna open up the hip flexors and this is gonna open up the hamstrings with that straightened leg. Point number two, use the dip bars at the beginning of your L-sit journey. Hanging L-sits can actually be quite strenuous for your shoulders if you don't know the proper technique of how to have your arms overhead and hanging on the bar. And if you're not doing the core compression of raising your legs up properly, you can actually irritate the shoulder. So forget that for now. And then the floor variation is actually quite intense. It's a lot more intense than doing it on the hanging on the bars or doing it on the dip bars. So at the beginning, I like to tell my students that technique is in two parts. So one part is stability and the other part is strength. So point number three is going to be technique in terms of stability. When you are now holding yourself, supporting yourself on the dip bars, you need to have a high level of stability. And you do this by activating, literally, you try to activate every single fiber of your body, right, to gain that control. And this is how you do it. When you're gripping the bars, you need to squeeze super tight, as if your life depended on it. And this is going to turn on your central nervous system to a higher level and prepare your body for work, right? So you grab the bar super tight, making sure that you are resting on the base of your palm for more support and more strength. And then now you want to combine that with having more stability in the shoulder. And you do this by being super tall. So don't let gravity push you down. You need to push against gravity and be as tall as you can in that position. And now this is gonna activate your back and the right parts of your shoulder and not irritate the wrong parts of your shoulder and your neck, right? So when you have that stability, now we go into the core. In the core position with the hips, you actually want to go in this posterior pelvic tilt, which is when your back is flat and now you have like some tension around the midsection and you want to brace the core. So imagine if somebody was going to punch you in the stomach, what would you do? You would brace and protect your intestines and the rest of your organs, right? So that's what you do when you're in that position. And then now we are making sure that our legs are tight. So I'm squeezing the quads, which will make sure that my knee is locked in place and that the rest of my legs are nice and tight. So now I'm active. I'm active and ready to work. Point number four, the technique when it comes to strength, the easy part. Not really. Okay, so you are now stable and you want to do your L-sit. So guys, it's not as simple as just, I'm gonna bring my legs up, right? Don't just think of, oh, I wanna bring my legs up. No, you need to activate the right muscles. So the actual height you get isn't as important as actually activating the proper muscles, right? So I am focusing on core compression. So I'm already in this hollow body position where my lower back is in a PPT, it's in a flat, I have a flat back. And now from that position, I'm trying to literally pull my legs into my stomach using my hip flexors, and this is what's gonna bring my legs up. And now the weight is on my hip flexors and my core. And that's where I want it to be. So if your L-sit ends up not being like horizontal, that's fine. If it's a little bit lower, that's fine. But the main thing is that you are getting the activation in the hip flexors and in the core muscles. You don't just want to bring the legs up and try to hold it there using other parts of your body. If you're getting a lot of value out of this video, then make sure to subscribe, and then we'll be able to continue making you these tutorials and making sure that you guys are progressing on your calisthenics journey. Let's move on to point number 5, which is probably the most challenging one, which is going to be consistency. So you now need to actually just practice the L-sit, and that's the only way you're gonna get better. You get better by actually doing that thing, right? So when it comes to your programming throughout the week, here's how you can tackle it. So train the L-sit specifically, so literally raising your legs. This could be also in a single leg variation. So yeah, doing the L-sit 2 to 3 times a week and trying to get a good amount of volume throughout that week, right? And then now on a daily basis, stop sitting down so much, or at least like take breaks from your sitting sessions. And then now start doing nice stretches for the hamstrings and the hip flexors. And then what you see is that through progressive overload and through patience and time, you will get the L-sit. All right, guys, I'll see you guys on the next video.